Hello, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hi, I'm Lucy. As you can probably guess from the title of the video, today I'm going to be looking at some old wives' tales that predict gender. If you do not know me and my story, in a nutshell, I'm currently pregnant with our fourth baby. We have a little boy already who is 7 called Dylan. We have a little girl who is 5 called Everly. They were both surprises. I didn't find out what I was having with them. And then I have another little girl called Quinn who is 2. So I've got 1 boy, 2 girls. I had 2 surprises and then I found out the third time what I was having. This time I have no idea what I'm having, and one of the reasons I chose not to find out is I quite like the kind of speculation and people trying to guess. So today I'm going to go through some of the old wives' tales. I'm not doing the gross ones that involve mixing your pee with stuff. I just didn't want to do that. I only managed to find 14, so I haven't actually worked out what the answer is to each of them, so I'm hoping that we don't end up with a draw on 7-7 because that's not going to be very interesting. But yeah, I'm going to crack through them and get on with this video and we can have a little guess at what this baby might be. So the first old wives' tale is to do with heart rate. The story goes, if your baby's heart rate is faster than 140 beats per minute, it's a girl, and if it is slower than 140 beats per minute, it's a boy. So there is only one appointment that I've been at where they have actually told me specifically what the baby's heart rate was, and that one was at whatever the first one was after I'd had my 20-week scan. So what is that, like, was it a 24, 26-week appointment? And at my 26-week appointment, my baby's heart rate was 155 beats per minute. So that makes it 1 for the girls. The second one is to do with cravings. So the story goes, if you're craving salty stuff, then it tends to be a boy, and if you're craving sweet stuff, then it tends to be a girl. Now, for me, all of my cravings this time have been salty. It has been all about crisps, burgers, cheese, real healthy stuff, you can tell, but all about kind of savoury stuff. In fact, I have gone quite off a lot of the sweet stuff that I used to really like. So that is definitely 1 for the boys, but I should put a disclaimer in here that with all my pregnancies, all I've ever really craved is salty stuff, so I'm not sure how applicable that one is to me. Okay, the third one is to do with what side you are sleeping on, and if you are sleeping on your left hand side, you're having a boy, and if you're sleeping on your right hand side, you're having a girl. Now this one is tricky because I definitely predominantly sleep on my left hand side now, but to begin with in this pregnancy I was sleeping more on my right hand side. So I don't really know which one to give that to. I probably would say I spent the majority of my pregnancy sleeping on my left, so that's 1 for the boys, isn't it? But again, it's not really a hard and fast one for me. Fourth one, and probably the one that gets asked about the most when people are kind of trying to predict the gender, is to do with sickness. So the story goes that if you have more sickness or sickness at all, or that you just feel really, really rough, then it's a girl. And if you have no sickness or very minimal sickness and nausea, then it's a boy. This pregnancy I have had absolutely 0 sickness whatsoever, so that would definitely be a vote for the boys. I definitely did have sickness when I was pregnant with Quinn, so that one lines up right, but then I didn't have any sickness when I was pregnant with Everly, so again, I'm not really sure that these are very hard and fast, but yeah, that's definitely no sickness, that's 1 for the boys. Okay, the next one is about mood. I feel like maybe I should have got Rich to answer this one. And basically, the old wives' tale goes that if you are quite moody and emotional during your pregnancy, then it's a girl. And if you are pretty much kind of on an even keel, not too emotional, pretty happy most of the time, then it's a boy. I would say comparatively, I don't think I've been as emotional this pregnancy as I have been with previous ones. But I've also had my moments. So while I have been mostly on an even keel, with this pregnancy there have been odd days where they have basically completely tipped me over the edge. where I've just basically cried all day for no reason. There was a day before Christmas I basically cried about everything. Rich did say to me the other day that I seemed to be more chilled this pregnancy, but I don't know how much of that is to do with the fact it's my 4th one. So what do you reckon? Boy or girl? I think maybe boy. I feel like compared to last time, I definitely feel like I've been more happy and even and less emotional this time than I was last time. But I don't really know for definite. Right, the next one is to do with your skin. This one is a very easy one for me to answer. Basically, it goes, if you have got very clear, glowing skin, you're not spotty, then that tends to lean towards a boy. And if you are more spotty and kind of not such great skin, it's a girl. It's something to do with, don't they say that girls steal their mum's beauty and boys don't? I definitely have had really good skin this pregnancy. It's definitely not been breakouty like it has been with some of my other pregnancies. Definitely not been spotty. So that one is definitely a vote for boy on that old wives' tale. So the next one is to do with how you are carrying your baby. And if your bump's quite high, then it's a girl. And if you're carrying low, it's a boy. I would definitely say I am carrying on the high side. People comment on the fact that I'm carrying on the high side. That is definitely a vote for girl. Now, the gender predictor, Chinese calendars, they get a lot of kind of, people love those things. So I went along and I did the Chinese calendar. Basically, it's to do with your age on the Chinese calendar and to do with the Chinese New Year, your age at conception of the baby, and then what month the baby is due in, and it will tell you what you are having. For me, it tells me that I am expecting a girl this time, so that is another vote for girl. However, I should just point out that it has been wrong with all 3 of my previous children, so you could also argue that that's maybe a vote for boy. I seem to be the complete opposite of whatever the Chinese gender calendar tells me that I should be. Okay, the next one is to do with headaches. And apparently, if you are pregnant with boys, you are more likely to suffer from headaches, and when you are pregnant with girls, you aren't. I haven't had any headaches, particularly this pregnancy, so that is definitely another vote for the girls. Now, this is a controversial one, but fortunately my husband doesn't watch my YouTube channel. Partner weight gain. So, allegedly, if your partner gains weight alongside you while you are pregnant, that means you're having a girl. And if he doesn't, then you're not. Well, actually, you can tell Rich I said this because I said it to Rich his actual self. Rich, at the beginning of this pregnancy, got a bigger bump than I did at the beginning. And he definitely was putting on some nice pregnancy weight for me on my behalf, which was very kind. That one would definitely suggest girl. Okay, the next one is really random one, but funnily enough is a symptom I've actually noticed this pregnancy, and I don't remember noticing it with any of the others. So it's to do with your feet. If your feet feel colder than normal, then you're having a boy, and if your feet feel warmer and they're quite warm or warmer than normal, then it's a girl. I would say I would have said before this pregnancy this was a crazy symptom, but this pregnancy I've had crazy cold feet constantly. Like I can't basically go anywhere with bare feet. My feet are freezing cold. I live in my slippers. I don't even just walk around the house with socks on is not enough. I need to have slippers on. I have freezing cold feet all the time, so that would definitely be a vote for boys. Okay, so another one that I have actually been asked about by people, so clearly people put a lot of sway on this one, is to do with your hair. And apparently if your hair is growing faster than normal, if it feels thicker than normal, if it feels quite bouncy, then it's supposed to be a boy. And if your hair is either the same or not as good as it is normally, then it's supposed to be a girl. Now, I would say with my 3 previous pregnancies, this one has been very true. When I was pregnant with Dylan, my hair grew so quickly. It felt lovely, it felt so glossy, it just felt amazing. When I was pregnant with the girls, my hair felt like straw. It was horrible, it broke a lot, it was just horrendous. This time, I would definitely say I'm leaning more this way. My hair is growing so fast at the moment that I basically am having to go and have my roots done faster. I'm being able to leave longer between hair washes because it just seems to be in such kind of nice condition compared to normal. So that one is definitely a vote for the boys. Then there is the good old-fashioned one about how you're carrying your weight. So it basically goes that if you are all bump and not really weight anywhere else, then it's a boy, and if you have kind of put your weight on a bit kind of everywhere, then it's a girl. I definitely think I'm definitely, compared to the last time where I know I put a lot more weight on kind of my bum and my hips and my thighs, this time I have not put it on there. Bearing in mind I'm eating loads of cheese and burgers, that's kind of a miracle. But I would definitely say I'm more bump is where all the weight is this time, so that is a vote for the boys. And the final one we're going with is gut instinct. They say that 70 to 75% of the time mum's gut instinct is right. So this one, you know, there's a really good chance that I'm going to be right, except I don't really feel like I have a particularly good gut instinct for this. So early on in this pregnancy, in the very early days, because I didn't have any sickness or anything, I was definitely leaning more towards a boy. I would say from about 12 weeks onwards, I would maybe lean more towards girl. Basically, I flipped backwards and forwards. So I honestly don't really know. Rich feels quite adamantly that he reckons it's a boy this time. So does my mum. So do a lot of other people that keep saying to me that they really feel like this is definitely a boy this time. But something in my head keeps telling me that I just think it's going to be a girl. I think probably because we've been in that girl zone for the last 2 babies. That just kind of feels like the most logical thing to me. So basically, the jury's out on my gut instinct. I don't really have a gut instinct, clearly. I'm rubbish. So we have a winner. According to the old wives' tales, it looks like I am expecting a boy, but we don't know. So you're just gonna have to watch this space and find out when this little baby decides to arrive in the spring. And then we'll know. And we'll know whether any of these old wives' tales actually work or not. If you have any other old wives' tales that are not the yucky pee ones that I've missed out on, please feel free to stick them in the description box because I'd love to give those a go too. And I will see you for another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.